Has Ben Johnson truly changed the culture in Chicago? Now, this is we're week 7,
Mm-hmm.
going to week 8 here, going to week 8 in the season.
Yeah.
Do we have enough data to decide whether or not he has changed the culture? What do you think?
Yes. He's a psycho. They did a cool spot where they actually mic'd him up last game, and they showed him, his reactions, or I would say non-reactions, right? And when your defense or your offense is rolling, and we saw, who was that, Aaron Glenn, when they blocked that kick in Tampa Bay, man, and he's strutting and showing all that emotion. I think it's hard not to overtly and outwardly show that type of emotion when your team's doing really well and making big plays. I think it's just natural. And they showed the Bears dismantling the damn Saints, and Ben Johnson is just watching like, this is exactly what I expect. No emotion, no what I call just outward.
Yeah,
like
no
this
elation.
thing is over, no elation. There's nothing there. I think his whole premise coming into Chicago, and he said it, we have enough to win right now, right?
Yeah.
And if you guys put the work in, and as this city, and he said it, deserves a winner. I've been looking from afar, from a while up close in the looking up close in the division, and I think you guys have. He chose Chicago, and a lot of people forget that. He could have, like you said, you mentioned it last time, he spurned and turned his nose up at the Commanders.
Yep.
He's turned his nose up at the Panthers and a couple other teams, the Jets and all these other teams. He wouldn't even take an interview. Yeah, wouldn't even take the interview. So he set the tone. This is where I want to be. His work ethic. I think he's an open and honest guy when it comes to feedback, and it's almost that level where Bill Belichick, he's Belichickian in the sense that each week, each game plan is tailored to attack a certain team, and he's not married to anything within his offense. He just wants to, win games. But I think culture, which is what we're talking to, is getting everybody to buy in and believe in what you're trying to do. Yeah. And I'm watching him, and we'll get in that here a little bit, the aggressive style of going forward on fourth down, the aggressive defense, an aggressive offense, shifting the narrative around our mental toughness, and we being a team that can no longer be in the laughing stock. And even when they asked him about some of the calls we weren't getting, or some of the bad calls that was happening, he's like, look, man, we got to earn respect, and until these guys earn respect, this is going to continue to happen. And I say all that to say, when I was in Vegas, I just kind of watched how they reacted to him. I watched his demeanor, and the players love him. He assembled a coaching staff of like-minded, tough SOBs who not taking excuses for answers. And then, I've been ending a lot of our pods with the, good, better, best, never let it rest until your good gets better and your better gets best. Those guys understand.
He breaks them down on that. He breaks them down.
He breaks them down on that. And when we play ball, man, when you really think about it, every day, every game is every practice is a moment to get better, right? And I'll say this, and then I'll pass it over to you. He mentioned the different stages, because he's a very sharp guy, analytical guy. Initially you're trying to figure out how to win, right? So you come and establish that culture. Hey, this is what it takes to win. And then you start to win, right? And you get some positivity, and you're just happy to be winning. And he said, our third phase that I want to see these guys get into is when we win and we're still happy about winning, but we're disappointed because we didn't win in the right way. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, that's pretty telling, because when you look at the really great franchises, and you've been there, you've had Dallas up around 10 to 13 wins, over I say the last 8 years. You had some really high level seasons where you walk out of a win, you're like, man, we didn't even play that great, and I'm over here jealous. I'm like, man, we can't even, figure out how to string 2 wins together. And here you are, with your pinky in the air telling me you upset because y'all, we could have won by 30, man. We only won by 12. So I think that being instilled in the team that our win should look a certain way. That's when the attention to detail and all those things are coming together. And you can feel the shift in the expectations of everybody, whether it's accountability, whether it's lineup changes. Braxton Jones, you out of here. He called Roma Dunze out. He called Caleb out. Not in a negative way, just saying, yeah, we all got to play better. I got to coach better. That Detroit game and that Minnesota game we got off to a rocky start, and he steadied the ship. And for a new head coach, I think he's established a style of what I call football that we want to play as a team. But offensively, we still got more work to do for us to really get to where we want to go from an offensive culture. But I say yes, he's changed the culture in Chicago.
I agree, and I'm not gonna belabor too much. You pretty much covered down. That's you're the beat writer for Chicago, so
yeah.
I'm not going to echo this, but the things I see is, number one, your team is taking on the challenges that he's given. Number two, I don't see the excuses about injuries, about penalties, about this guy not being there. The team seems to be much more focused and prepared, and not not hanging their head and saying, "Here we go again," and that type of situation.
Yeah.
And then the team looks to be going to the stage where they're not at the stage yet where the wins are expected and that the wins are, second rate, and you actually can critique your wins. Yeah. But the thing that I do see is that when you don't have your best pitch or you don't have everything in your favor, you still find a way to win. I just think, you're looking at that Washington game. Man, they set y'all up to lose that game. That was a game in DC, a night game. Everyone was talking about the Commanders. They didn't even really want to talk about Chicago. It was kind of like, they had to deal with you guys. And the entire game, somehow Ben Johnson made sure y'all didn't get that memo. Right. And you showed up and you outplayed them. You were more physical than them. You make the excuses. You ran the ball better. And you just played through whatever negative situation or unfortunate situation or, or a situation that was not in your favor. You just played through it. And to me, that is a difference in culture that you don't see, because those things will travel with you no matter no matter what. You're still gonna make mistakes. You got young guys and stuff. So I would say yes to that. And those are some of the things that I see from the outside. I'm just starting to see. Now it's early. You can always, you haven't hit a rough spot there. So if you lose 2 in a row or something, you see how he adjusted and stuff. But for now, I do think that it is shifted. And it's not just, we got better players. Nah, I think Chicago's had better teams than this in the past. I think they've had more talented teams than this. Your quarterback is more talented, but I don't think it's that the team is loaded. I just think there's a different expectation. So I would say yes on that one for sure.
All right.